What's going on, guys? As always, wanted to get the stream started off with what is going on for the weekend deal over at Redcon 1. So this weekend only, you can get 35% off using the code GAME35 for the big game that's tomorrow. Remember that, Corey? We got to talk about that. Pre-workout, you get a Total War for $50 in spending. You get a Total War, a drawstring bag if you spend $50. If you spend 85, you're going to get a big noise included with that. And if you spend 105, you're going to get a t-shirt. I got those backwards. Anyways, a t-shirt, a big noise, a drawstring bag, and a Total War if you spend 105, and free shipping when you spend $125. So we'll get Corey added in here.
What's going on? That's my if I had theme music, it would sound a lot better in that situation. But since I don't, I was going to do the final countdown, but I knew that was going to get copyrighted again, so can't use that no more.
Copyrighted again?
Yeah, I played it during my live stream for my weight. I was just doing stone shoulder one day, and a final countdown came on, and apparently they are hardcore when it comes to the copyright laws, and it shut the stream down and almost got me banned from Facebook because it said I was trying to infringe on their music.
So don't you have to put it down in the bottom, like where this? I don't own copyrights music to this music.
I can barely read, let alone know how to do that. Do you think I know how to do that? My entire private chat is gone away, so it's going to be up to you from here on out to do the questions.
All right.
What's that? Your focus is kind of funky. There it goes.
Man, I might have to turn that light back on, or quit moving around one or the other. So one other thing I forgot to mention about the Redcon 1 is starting on Monday, they're starting a new readiness trials, which is kind of like a transformation challenge. What is it? Bug your head.
What the fuck is that thing? It's like a cat toy or something. That's my personal use thing. Don't worry about that. That's gonna bother me.
What is it?
It's a light, I think.
Oh.
I'm not at home currently. I'm currently at my in-laws' house, so I'm in their office. So this is why it looks different and everything kind of feels different.
So, yeah. So they're going to start a readiness trials this Monday. You can sign up for it. It's basically a transformation challenge where you can win up to, I think it's shared between 3 people, but I believe it's $35,000, or it's $35,000 for the winner, $50,000 total. So it's split between the top 3, $35,000 for the winner, $10,000 for second place, and $5,000 for third place. So,
what's a readiness trial?
It's like a weight loss transformation challenge is what they call it. So
weight loss?
Transformation challenge. How about that?
There we go.
Yeah. Kind of like the transformation that you've had since we got back from Florida. You sexy beast, you.
You know who's sexy? Nicholas O'Hare.
Oh, we're going to talk about him already.
No. I wanted to put that out there because I got the opportunity to train with him this week. And if you train with Nick O'Hare, there's one thing that's going to happen. He's going to take his shirt off at some point. And I think it was, at least we actually made it all the way through the workout before the shirt came off. So I got to give him credit on that.
All right, do we want to talk about this real quick? I just threw it across the bottom. Is the competitors announced for the Shaw Classic? And we've been bringing this up the last couple podcasts. First, it was announced that they were doing it again. Then announced the I don't remember. It was the location that they're looking at allowing spectators.
I did not see that. I didn't see. Oh yeah.
So in his last video, he announced who the competitors are going to be. Instead of 10 this year, he's going to have 16. So he's bringing more people.
He's going to take down the Arnold. That's his goal, is to become the new Arnold, basically.
It would be tough to get big as that, but it'll be the Strongman Arnold, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll just run real quick through the athletes that he's got invited. Brian Shaw, JF Carone, Alexei Novikov, Trey Mitchell III, Jerry Pritchett, Adam Bishop, Luke Stoltman, Tom Stoltman, Matthias Kuliskowski. There's a big picture of him. OB, Evan Singleton, Graham Hicks, Kevin Ferris, Luke Richardson, Averis Smaksdalis. I think I got that right.
That was a very good attempt.
Maxime Boudreau. That's it.
Who is missing from that list? Can you tell me who?
Oh, you're gonna get into the controversy that's right up at the top?
I am gonna get into the controversy
So
right off the bat.
are you talking about Martins?
Martin's Lissus. Yes, Martins. I call him the very American version.
So what this says up here is he was invited but did not respond to Shaw, is what this says. So was he invited or was he not invited?
I don't know. It's funny because Martins put out a Instagram post, I think the day they announced it.
I did see that, and I also saw Brian's comment that there was
the deleted comment.
Oh, it was deleted now.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was it was quite the long comment that he had no hate towards him and stuff like that.
It was a very Brian Shaw comment too, because it was like I could literally see Brian like in his head typing that the way he wrote it. I would love to pull it up, but like I said, it's been deleted since then, which is what I thought was funny because I was like, it seemed like it cleared up all the drama, but yet why was it deleted?
Yeah, how he was never invited out to go train at Shaw's and collab or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he said Brian always leaves him on red.
That's interesting.
And then he got sent an invite to the Shaw Classic, which was left on red.
Interesting.
Interesting. I don't know. It's like I like Martins, but like I kind of see Brian's point of like the dude literally skipped every competition because he like had a small like even his friend Matus, they're good friends, Martins and Matus, and he was like, and then if you watch Matus's videos and you have the subtitles on the bottom, he even said that he's just like, yeah, I'd love to have Martin Scomer, but his shoulder, he seems like he might fall off his bike or something, so he can't train this week. And I was like, that's some calling out to do.
That's very interesting. All right, that's about as much as we know about that event. And we were talking a little bit beforehand about my upcoming plans for this summer. That may change if it is cost worthy to go to watch the Shaw Classic. So
that would be a fun thing to go see though, especially for the first. Well, it'd be like the first public Shaw Classic,
exactly,
because they're going to go all out to try to promote it to get people to come. So they would have like lots of meet and greets and signings and all kinds of other.
Yeah. So there were if they use that area that they showed in the video, is they have a area in that venue to be able to do a meet and greet, but it was pretty small. So if they increase the number of athletes compared to what they had last year, it's going to be even smaller to have a meet and greet. So they'd almost have to set up like an area inside of the actual venue to have the meet and greet, where anybody who pays to have that special extra meet and greet pass can get through and meet everybody and have room. Because that room they showed was not very big. I could see that being like a rest area type of thing in between events for competitors and stuff like that.
I think he's kind of playing it off too, waiting on to see what happens with all the COVID shit, trying to, if they're allowed to have, if they could fit 1,000, 10,000 people in there, that they're going to pack it out. So it's up to whatever the regulations are at that point.
Right. Yeah, and not only that, he was talking about it still being a 2-day event, I believe, and having what do you have, 5 events last year?
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking about having a 6th event this year. So
I'm going to go ahead and shoot for it's going to be something cool and unique that we haven't seen in a while. Hopefully like Fingal Fingers or something like that, or Thor's Hammer, whatever they call it now.
Norse Hammer, yep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That'll be interesting.
I want to do that. I've never done so. I think that'd be fun as shit to do. Even in the Highland games, doing the telephone pole thing, I think that'd be fun. Just to give it a shot.
It's called a caber, but okay.
Sorry, I don't have my fucking dictionary and encyclopedia in front of me. I don't know all the technical names. Wait until you see some of the spelling that these people had on their questions.
I fixed them.
Oh, did you? Oh, thank God. Yeah. Autocorrect did not help me out when I was in a hurry to type those. I was just going to blame it on the people.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and give this on the TDE comments now. A lot of this is just going to be Q&A of other questions that we pulled from other areas today. So
yeah, if you want to get into the questions.
I got one more thing is it's kind of just talking about what we talked about in the last podcast. Also, is the next podcast is going to be the 21st of this month, probably around the same time frame, because it's my son's birthday that day. But we do have a guest that's going to be coming on with us, talking with us about his Kickstarter program that he's got coming out, and that is my buddy Brent from over at Outclass Nutrition. He's got a line of protein bars that he's trying to do a Kickstarter for, and we're going to bring him on, talk about the bars a little bit, and what his Kickstarter program is going to entail.
And then I got a few guests that I got kind of lined up in the works right now. I'm thinking it'd be really cool to get them on, and so it's definitely someone that we could pick their brain for all, the entire podcast.
Oh, for sure. Definitely somebody that we will have a lot of questions for, and we can, if we have any fans of Strongman, that can get into a lot of questions for him as well.
A very well known.
Very well known person in the area. All right, let me look real quick, see if I got any other questions put on here.
All right.
If you want to do the same, and then we will get into. I just opened Facebook, and Calvin Johnson's being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Nice. I can't wait till he gets up to the podium and they go to hand him the thing, and then they take it away from him and call it that he actually dropped the pass.
I still only have the one question on there, so we'll get right into.
All right.
The only question that I had pop up is, what is your favorite flavor of Total War? So if you guys don't know, Total War is the Redcon 1 pre-workout. Corey, you've had a couple different ones. What is your favorite one that you've had so far?
So I'm kind of a little kid, so when I do take mine, I still do the regular flavors, so blue raspberry and so I believe it was the sour apple are my two that they have. That's two my favorite, and then I guess the craziest I got was the watermelon, which was definitely something different. Like I'm usually not that into a sweets thing, but the watermelon one, I think it was pretty good.
Okay. So I'm looking at the wall up in front of me, and I have 12 different ones on the wall right in front of me right now, and I got a 13th at work and a 14th on its way. So I have a few different flavors of Total War, and that's another thing I'll talk about here in just a second. My favorite flavors right here. This is the Halloween edition one they came out with last year. It's called Demogorgon Blood. It's from a show. I can't remember exactly what show it is. I can't remember. Anyways, but this was like some kind of fruit punch. It was really good. I can't remember exactly the flavor of it. It's been empty for a while. I got like 5 of them up on the shelf that are open, and that's the only one that I emptied. So that was my favorite flavor. But I wanted to get into this real quick. And this will be for you as well, buddy. This doesn't look very good.
What do you got there? Is that Mexican pre-workout?
So this is sample packets I got right here, and this is a scoop of Total War out of Vice City. So I got these little sample bags to hand out to people, and I promise you, it's not what you think it is. It's not snow. It's Total War. So
yeah. You want to turn your mic down just a tickle? You got like a little bit of a crackle with your mic.
I might be too close to it. Is that better?
Yeah, it kind of. I think it's your camera actually. Every time it autofocuses, you hear it click.
Interesting.
It's weird. Yeah, like when you're moving, when it autofocuses, I hear it click, and it sounds like it's the mic or. Do you have your audio coming through the mic or the camera?
Through the mic.
Do you? Okay, that's weird. It's just like a weird clicking noise every time it goes. It autofocuses, and then you hear like a.
Okay, I'll try to sit still.
I don't know. It's weird.
So yeah, if you're interested in trying any samples, this one's got a cool sticker on it with my QR code on it. But yeah, I got samples I can hand out to people a lot more easier than.
It's your camera. It's definitely the camera making a noise.
Crazy. A lot more easier for me to get than these type of samples. So I do have a couple of those laying around still. But anyways, all right. Next question.
What we got? Recommendations to get back into lifting after a break. Well, this actually would be perfect kind of for you, Tony, because I know you took some time off after an injury. So kind of explain your mindset on it.
Yeah, so I have a lot of breaks right now. Some I go on like 2-week stints where I don't lift because I'm working for 2-week stints type of thing. So Yeah, so last year with my injury, I was off for I don't know how many months. I actually gave myself off like 3 months, just to fully try and heal that injury. And then once I got back into it, obviously I wasn't where I should be, type of thing.
Yeah.
So I took it very slow. For the first 2 months, wasn't deadlifting anything over 300. I wasn't benching anything over 200, type of thing. Eased way back into it. And then after a good month and a half to 2 months of doing that, I was comfortable with myself, able to start increasing that a little bit. Pace yourself, test yourself where you are, and work on getting yourself back up to where you were. It's not going to be easy, and it also depends on how long you are off from lifting before you start back into it also. So mine was a pretty long stint, and honestly, I did a lot more rehab type of stuff getting back into my lifting, than just doing normal type of training, period.
So what type of so for motivation wise, like after you spend so much time not lifting, basically, like what kind of motivates you to get back into the mindset of eating right and getting out there every day and hitting the weights? Like what do you use for motivation?
A lot of times it's watching other people. So watching other people compete. So like when I went to throwdown, I wasn't back into lifting yet. So going to that and watching everybody else being able to compete really got me in the mindset where I was ready to start going again, because throwdown was in July.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was down all of May. So I was down with an injury all of May, and once that hit, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm ready to start going. So
then you also went up to Great Lakes too, right?
yeah, I went up to Great Lakes and watched. I was kind of back into lifting then, but I squatted like 2 days before that, and kind of re-stressed that area a little bit again. So I haven't really squatted much since then. I've been working my legs in other ways. But yeah.
Yeah. I guess go ahead.
No, but still rehabbing that a little bit. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, like for me, there definitely comes a time, especially when you don't compete. So like last year, I didn't compete in I didn't do any competitions. So it was definitely hard to be able to, go out there, do the same shit every day to, eat and train, even when you don't feel it. It's hard. So what I've learned to do over the years is just, instead of making such a big goal, so it's like, you say you find a competition and it says you have to do a 900-pound yoke. Instead of sitting there and going, okay, I did a 600 one and it felt heavy. How the hell am I going to do a 900? I broke it down. So I basically did it week by week. So like having a coach too helps, because they go, okay, don't worry about the 900-pound yoke. Just do, a 500 or 50% of whatever 400-pound yoke. Just get comfortable with it, get eased into it. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing, what your competition's doing, whatever. Just get yourself ready, because it comes back faster than you think. And it's a lot easier to build on that, especially when you're not trying to compare yourself constantly. You're getting all the way back up to wherever you're at, where you were before the injury or whatever made you stop lifting. You basically just have to say, hey, I like the mindset that I had, the way I felt. Like definitely adds confidence when let's say you look better or feel better. You're definitely going to want to just find those small things instead of worrying about the big picture, and just work on those. And like maybe you say your back hurts, or like you said, rehab. Doing a little bit of rehab each day or doing that goes a long way into motivating you to get back into the big lifts or to get back into competing. And I say don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just do your own thing and you'll get to where you want to be, as long as you stick to it and have a plan. Consistency is key.
Awesome. All right. Next one. Why do people quit lifting after a competition?
Because I seen Nick O'Hare pull 900 pounds off a fucking deadlift.
That's very true. My question with this is it quit lifting altogether or take a break afterwards?
I think it was more meant for like, why do people get discouraged? Maybe like if they go to a like their first comp or something, and then not do as well as they thought, or maybe someone that they didn't even expect to be such a good competition came out and crushed it. So kind of like, why do people want to not lift after getting beat, or not doing as well as they thought.
So I haven't seen a lot of people just completely quit after Strongman. I mean, you're not going to win every show. You're not going to get a trophy at every show. If you're in it for the participation trophy, it's not the sport. Honestly, it's only more fire to improve for the next one. I don't think. I mean, how do I mean, if you're gonna completely quit, the sport's not for you. Maybe it just wasn't for you. I'm not. Don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you show up to a show and you're expecting, I put everything into this, I'm gonna win. You know, somebody else was working harder than you to get into that show. Somebody's got better genetics than you to get into the show, type of thing. Maybe somebody's been doing it long enough that they're better than you. If you show up to a novice competition and everybody whoops your ass, it's probably because they're not their first competition either. They just haven't done good enough in novice competition to move up to that next bracket.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do novice classes, even though they've did like 10 or like 5 or 10 comps. They still do the novice class because they're just not ready to hit the open yet.
Scared of the open weights.
Yeah, it is a huge jump going from novice to open. Like it's usually like a 200-pound per lift jump.
I mean, I'm looking at the. We're going to get into this in a minute here, but if I was a super heavyweight doing a novice competition and the yoke is 445 pounds, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I could do 445. I mean, my yoke is almost that empty. And then I look at the super heavyweight open of what they have to do for this competition. It's 400 pounds heavier than that. I mean, most people can't deadlift 400 pounds. So, I mean, that's quite the jump. If you're looking at somebody like I've done like 5 novice competitions, what makes me want to go open? Well, not having to do 400 pounds more in the competition, and especially I hate to say it, but in USS, United States Strongman, if you win a novice competition, that gives you an automatic ticket to go to nationals to compete in the open. Where if you are in the top 2 in open and then you get your ticket to, it's more of a motivation to go to nationals. It's an easier ticket. Ooh, look at that.
Look at that hairdo.
Look at that.
Anyway.
So
so I would say it's more. I've noticed it of a lot of people. Like I always tell people that when I see that, like when they get discouraged, is look at how far you came from the day you first started training, like the first time you picked up a stone or the first time you deadlifted, and look at how far you came in those months or weeks or however long in training. Like, yeah, you didn't do as well as you thought in a comp, but now, like say you're at work and you have to move a wheelbarrow, like look at how much easier it is. Even maybe look at, some people like, hey man, you've been hitting the weights lately. Like things like that are huge and it's a confidence booster. And maybe it's not always about the actual competition, but it's about how you feel or how you look, or even if it makes you feel more confident. Like that is what I think is the important thing to get out of it. And, you can't even, so say like, the day before the comp when you're sitting there like, yeah, let's do this. I'm ready. I've been working my ass off. I'm ready to do this. And then you go into the comp and shit the bed. You still have to have, you got to just use that as fuel to get back into it. You got to go like, I didn't do as good as I thought, but I've worked hard. I've spent a lot of time, money, and effort to get here. I might also just try again. Now, it's like you just keep going and seeing what you can do and seeing what you're capable of, like how far you can push yourself past what you thought you were able to do. Like that's what I think is the most impressive part about this. Like there's tons of like girls the first time ever touching a weight was at a comp. Like remember at the throwdown, there was that girl. She was like what 11 or 15 or something like that. Oh, Aaron's daughter.
Yeah, she's got this Braylee. She's got the same name as my daughter. That's the only way I remember.
And like she went in there, never really trained anything. And look at how many people at that place were cheering her on. Like every single person was there cheering her on. And like I guarantee that built some confidence in her. Mm-hmm. And like it's cool to see that. And there's guys out there that maybe like a bigger guy, like say like us. We can't play basketball. We're not good at swimming. So having something that we can do, and just like look at how we met. We became friends just because of a sport. Like it's the things outside of the actual competitions that you gain and learn and meet, like the people, the family. That's the cool part of it.
Awesome. So on top of that whole, this is sidetracked off it, but you said how people will at work will say, oh, "Look how much bigger you're getting," type of thing. So my work just did a competition. It was a talent show. So I put a quick video together. It was supposed to only be 90 seconds. I put a 90-second video together of some clips of my
OnlyFans?
competitions. Yeah, because that's work appropriate.
It isn't my job. At Loper Locker, we encourage OnlyFans.
So it was a 90-second clip. I just threw a bunch of my competition clips together, and after like a week, they took a voting for like a couple days, and whoever got the most votes, like the top person got a brand new iPad, and then like the second and third got like $150 and then $100. So
can I enter?
No, it's already done. And so it showed you, like, you could go on to where they were posted that and see like how many views each person got. I was the only person to get over 400 views.
Holy shit.
So after the voting got done, I was not in the top 4 for voting. So I don't know how I didn't get in there, but the person that got third only had under 200 views on their videos. So
was she hot?
I will get into that later.
Does she have an OnlyFans? Like, that's. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that's very inappropriate, and I take all that back. Said no one ever. All right. Next question.
Info about throw down to the thumb because
thrown down.
The
thrown down.
You typed it out.
Nah, dude, that was straight from Facebook. I don't know what you're talking about. That was thrown.
I could have swore I heard you type all of it out.
Not once.
All right, so all the weights were posted for this today, and I believe I can just go to this.
There we go.
All right. So Hustle Fall Stone is the first event on the list here. So women novice are going to have a 125-pound hustle fall, a 150 for the lightweight. Masters and middleweight are 175, and heavyweight are 200-pound hustle fall. Men's novice is a 200-pound hustle fall. Lightweight is 225. Heavyweight and masters is 255. Heavyweight is 285. And super heavies are 350. Super heavies. So here's my question.
Yes.
I believe it's on here somewhere else. We'll get that into it just a second. Next event is yoke. And women's for novice is 325. Lightweight 365. Middleweight and masters is 405. Heavyweight is 445 pounds. The men novice is 445 pounds. Lightweight 545. Masters 645. Heavyweight 745. And super heavies are 845. Log max effort. I didn't look at the rules. Is this a 3 attempt type thing, or is it?
I'm assuming it's a 3 attempt.
All right. So women's is going to open up 100 pounds with 10-pound jumps. Men is going to be, for novice, 140 pounds with 20-pound jumps. Open masters opening weight is going to be 180 pounds with 20-pound jumps. Axle deadlift ladder, women's, and this is 3 different bars that you have to do in 60 seconds, I believe.
Yep.
Is what I read. So novice women, 225, 245, and 265. Lightweight is 255, 275, and 295. Middleweight and masters, 285, 305, 325. Heavyweight, 325, 345, 365. Novice men, 365, 385, 405, 415, 435, and 455 for lightweight. Middleweight, masters is going to be 455, 475, 495. Heavyweight, men, 505, 525, 545. Super heavyweight, 545, 565, 585. Atlas Stone series, and this is just 3 stones onto different platform heights.
Yep.
Starting at 55 and then like a 48 and then a 44, I believe, for height.
I'm not sure.
I think it says down below. We'll get there in just a second. Women's novice 95, 115, and 150. Lightweight 115, 150, and 180. Middleweight masters 150, 180, and 215. Heavyweight is going to be 180, 215, and 225. Men's novice, 180, 215, 225. Lightweight, 215, 240, and 265. Middleweight masters, 240, 265, and 310. He's going to have a lot of different stones there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not like using like moving one out, putting one in type of thing. Heavyweight 275, 310, and 330. Super heavyweight is 310, 330, and 360. That's a big stone.
It's not that bad. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's a big stone.
So that it's got the weight classes. So here is my question:
Yep.
If super heavyweight is anybody over 231 pounds?
I think so. I think because it's using the Strongman court formula, and I think that's how they did it because I don't remember the explanation behind it, but I'm assuming that is up to 231. Everyone over 231 and over is be in the super heavyweight class because this is I don't know if it's a platinum event or something like that. So this is a nationals qualifier, I believe.
Sure.
So it's part of their, because I don't think there's going to be as many super heavyweights and heavyweights together, so they're going to end up combining them. So I think that's why all the weights are the same.
Let's see.
I think his sign up is
event 2, event 3, event 4. Event 4 and 5 must be together here. Okay, so yeah, 52-inch, 48-inch, and 44-inch. So the lightest one on the highest one, the heaviest one on the lowest one.
So I guess let's go through with the questions you had. You said you had right off the bat, you had one about the Husafel.
Nope, it was just about the weight class.
Oh, okay. And then the Husafel is starting flat on the ground.
Yep, I remember seeing that. Yep, axle deadlift is standard height. Then you have ascending weight with 60 seconds. Some people are going to fly through those.
Yeah. The heavyweight is going to be interesting because the most I've ever done double overhand with no straps on an axle was 425 before it slipped. So I'm going to have to definitely use straps for I think it's 585 is the biggest one. So it's going to be practicing how fast you can get figure 8 straps on and in before. That's going to be a fun one. And then the yoke is going to be a nice one. That's the heaviest yoke I've ever done in comp.
Yeah, 50 feet straight run.
Yeah, it won't be too bad though, I don't think. Pretty much the biggest thing is just going to be getting the hardest part is not going to be blowing your wad on the yoke because you also have the stones, which are going to be heavy. Like the deadlift's not too bad, and then the Husafell's not going to be too bad, but it's a max distance event, so you're going to be using all of your cardio basically to do the max distance. So it's not going to be a max static lift, you know what I mean? So hopefully, yeah, with the yoke, I told them just make it an even 900 because I just want people to hate me. I think it'd be fun to do a 900-pound yoke in a comp.
We're almost there.
Yeah. After doing the yoke squat thing for the wintertime, working up to 1050, I think it'd be fun to do a 900-pound yoke walk.
All right. So, next question. Is it okay to take a break from training for a week after feeling destroyed? So, I feel like this could be also say, is it okay to take a week off from training after a competition? Because that's when I really feel destroyed.
Yeah.
Both answers are yes or deload.
Yeah, so I know the person that wrote this or asked this question, and he's an absolute rep monster. So, like, doesn't go too crazy on the weights, but he'll do like 315 for 20 reps on squat. So, like, everything that he does is insane amount of reps. So I get what he's saying about feeling destroyed. So it's not exactly just a pure static destroy. It's just feeling worn out. And yeah, absolutely. It is great to take a break. You always have to have, so I do a deload week, usually every 6, I do 5 weeks of training. And then my 6th week will either be a reload or a deload week. And that's helped me a lot. So knock on wood here. That's what's prevented a lot of injuries happening because before I never did a deload. I just went heavy and then go back down and then just go heavy and then go back down without actually taking, like never going down enough to make it a deload, just like going from doing 5 reps down to 1 rep for a week and then working back right up to 5 reps again or 10 reps, whatever it is. So I think it's very important to work on that and use that week to work on your mobility. Start learning some new mobility exercises. But I know there's another question that's about that too, so I'll wait to get into that. What's your thoughts?
Exactly the same. Either just if you're feeling absolutely destroyed, just take a week off. Work on mobility. If you mobility is a really good one, and then or take deloads.
Did you say take D-ball?
Yeah, take Diana-ball. It'll really help you feel a lot better.
Have you tried Tren?
Anadrol? Have you tried Anadrol?
Every morning with breakfast.
So anyways, yes. Take a deload. Work on your recovery work. Hot cold is really one of my favorite things to help with recovery.
The shower. Contrast showers.
Yeah, either showers or just soaking in the tub with Epsom salt as well.
And it also helps with your OnlyFans.
You link it to Corey's OnlyFans down in the description.
Link below, baby.
It's the top one. It says Redcon 1, but it's okay.
Yeah, use my code, get 20% off my OnlyFans. Watch what I do with a tub of Total War.
In the tub.
In the tub. Tub, baby.
But yeah, definitely let your body need. If you're feeling destroyed, your body needs recovery.
Yeah.
Your ligaments are sore, not just your muscles.
Well, that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Like basically, so your muscles can grow to basically infinite size depending on like what you do, but your tendons and your ligaments never get any bigger. So that's why a lot of these big dudes will tear their ACL or their shoulder labia because it just doesn't get much bigger. You can't push it to the limit every week. Like you watch like Jerry Pritchett pull 890 pounds in training. It seems like he posts an Instagram video at least twice a week of him. Same with Wesley Claiborne. He's always posting videos of just, working up to a light 790 today or, a 900-pound deadlift just for some reps, just to get it loose. And it's like, that's why they end up getting injured because you can't push your body that hard for that long without doing all that extra mobility and physiotherapy and all that stuff that they do. Yeah, most people don't get that.
I just saw a video today. Nick Best was pulling 800 still.
Yeah. With that weird-ass stance that he does. Feet almost touching.
Yeah, who else pulls like that? The Novikov.
Yep, same way. There must be a trick to it though. Like I've noticed, like that's a big thing about like social media is all these people watch and see these guys do these crazy lifts and do all these heavy things, but they also don't realize the hours of physiotherapy, the chiropractor, all the stem cells shit that they do on the outside so they can keep doing that. Like you cannot, just as I say, an average Joe, you cannot pull 900 pounds twice a week for 6 straight weeks and be just fine. Right. Like there's a reason why like Larry Wheels and all these guys are, sponsored by all these companies because that's how they afford to pay for. Like Nick Best goes out of the country to get these stem cells, and same with Martins. He gets these stem cells to fix his shoulder, fix his neck, and all that stuff because you just don't naturally heal that way,
Back to Diana-ball.
Yeah, do D-ball, kids. Every chance you get, if you find it, pop them. What's the worst that could happen?
So these next 2 questions, you're going to have to give me some backstory on it, but okay. What was this question about?
So I think it was most actually like, what's your preference in the keg toss? Do you like it? What do you see the advantages of it are, the disadvantages of it are, and what functionality can you use that like training for a keg toss also apply to other lifts or other types of fitness? So for instance, like doing a keg toss builds your hips, which will help you lock out a deadlift or something like that. So okay. It's not just a function, or it's not just a one-sided lift. You use everything. So I think like, what's your opinion on it? Like, how do you train for it if you see it in a competition, and what do you work on?
So a keg toss.
I throw kegs.
I throw kegs. I mean, the other thing I do is kettlebell swings.
Uh-huh.
I don't have heavy kettlebells. They're 15 pounds, which is just a little bit underneath of what the first kettlebell starts off at. I don't even want to get into where I bought them at, but anyways.
Are they pink?
No, they're purple.
Oh.
Not even gonna lie. It was before I even got into Strongman. It was like one of the first things I bought just to have type of thing to try and get into shape.
Did you also buy ankle weights and a sweatsuit?
No, I was doing. I was this size, but I was out of shape type of thing. And I was doing P90X. Not even gonna lie, I had it, and I bought those kettlebells because they were at what's the store? Marshalls.
Curves.
Marshalls.
You remember Curves? You remember that place?
So I still see a lot of their gym equipment for sale on Curves, the hydraulic light press and stuff like that. On Marketplace for sale all the time.
Yeah. So what I do is I went on Amazon and I bought one of those plastic handles that you can turn any dumbbell into a kettlebell. It was like $30. I forget the name of it, but that's like one of the most convenient, handy things to have in the gym.
The orange ones?
Yep.
The orange, okay.
Yep. So I put that, and I think it's rated for 45, but I put my 90-pound dumbbells in there and do them. So as long as you don't drop it, I think it'll be fine. But so kettlebell swings are super beneficial for more than just kettlebell swings. So that works on your hips. It works on your explosiveness. It could also train, like say your back's kind of killing you. You don't want to do some squats. So, it helps you loosen all that stuff. If you do lighter, you can do high reps. You can do lower. Like it's super beneficial. And having that, and also training, if you have a handle, you can do the duck walk. Like you ever see people do the duck walk in competition, like it helps with that. And the same with you're doing power stairs, having that hip drive, even cleaning the log, like you use your hips to clean that log to get it up top. Almost hit mine. So having that, it's a very beneficial workout. And throwing kegs is fun as shit. Like it's always cool to see how high and how far you can throw a keg. So I wanted to do an exhibition lift. That's going to be another question in the future. The throwdown of high, just take a 25-pound keg and see who could throw it over the highest bar. And, it maybe do a single hand, double hand. Like I think I can clear a 25-foot bar with a 25-pound keg. I think that'd be pretty cool. But that's another thing. It helps you with all forms of training, basically.
Yeah, I didn't know where this question was going to go. Was what we thought about the actual event, or what we did to train for it type of thing. But I do have 5 kegs out in my garage that I can train the event with. But my thoughts on the event is we don't see it, but I would like to see a keg toss for height.
Yeah,
like max height. You have 3 attempts. I just saw a video earlier. It was at Worlds a couple of years ago, where they had a keg toss for height. You had 3 attempts at that height. You had 3 kegs weighing the exact same sitting out in front of you. And you got to, I don't know if it was 1 foot, 6 inches height increments, but something like that would be cool.
Do you throw kegs vertically or horizontally?
How you're holding them?
Yeah. Like, do you throw them where they roll or do you do them where they flip?
So I'd like to throw it by the handles, like both hands on the handles. But I started training the last time I had to do keg toss where I had it on the side. Okay. I don't know if I was any better at either one. I think depending on, I know a lot of people say if it's on the side and it hits the bar, it's going to help it roll over it. But a lot of times it hits that bar and it stops. So,
or it goes back down on your head and you make a live video.
Exactly.
Got some ghost?
Yeah, again. Yep. Always. All right. Enough about keg toss. You'll have to explain this one as well.
Cart deadlifts and significance. I thought you said you fix these, man.
It's spelled correctly.
Is it? Is that how you spell significance? Really? Is that?
Yeah.
Really? Could have really thrown me off for a loop. I don't know. It looks wrong, doesn't it? Doesn't it look wrong?
It does look wrong.
Is it wrong?
It's right.
Is it? Okay, whatever. I think this question is kind of the same as the last one. Like, what do you think that it is good for, and it like transitions into other lifts? And what do you think? Like, is it better to do max reps or max weight? And if so, what do you think? What do you think you could hit for a max weight number if you really set your mind to and train for it?
I think how I'm going to train for it is depending on what it's going to require in the competition. Obviously, a lot of times in competition, it is
Reps.
for reps in 60 seconds. It's not. I've never seen a car deadlift other than I've never seen really a max car deadlift.
I don't know. You never. I wonder why. Is there like a reason behind it, or?
I think just because it takes so long to set it up, type of thing.
Yeah.
It would take a lot of factoring in. You would have to, like when we did that throwdown. Well, not really math, but as much as they brought in the crane scale, and you have to test and see what it is each time. I mean, I guess as long as you set it up the same way for each person, but it's just a long setup for each person individually to get set up into it. So it'd be a harder event for it to be a max type event. I think it would be interesting to do that in a competition. As for what I could do max weight in a car deadlift, it would also depend on if it was side handle or front handle. I'm not good at front handle car deadlift. It's a different type of setup for my stance for front handle rather than side handle, and I'm not comfortable with that. I'd rather do a side handle. I could pull a lot more, and I think if it was a side handle and I trained really hard for it, I could pull over 1,000. Honestly, I think I have, but it wasn't weighed. I think we weighed that one at throwdown, and the one that I pulled was almost 900, and that was with no preparation and still with a pulled groin. So it would be interesting to see that what I could do. And I wasn't using my deadlift straps. I didn't have my belt. I didn't have none of my gear there, so I was using somebody else's figure 8 straps. So
you brought your dump truck of an ass, though.
Whoa.
You need a CDL for that dump truck, bro.
Oh my goodness. That's a B license right there.
Ooh. Yeah, no. I think it's like a combination of a leg press and a deadlift, because you don't pull it straight up. You pull it back on an angle, so you're able to use a lot more, like, say, leg drive. And that's why a lot of times you see people slip and fall, because they're pushing so far backwards that their feet slip forwards and you come down.
Yeah, your feet have to be out a lot in front of you. But I don't have to have my feet as far out in front of me as a lot of people say we have to have. I don't feel comfortable in that position.
Yeah, I put mine, so I would say my feet are about the middle. My hands are about the middle of my feet.
Okay, yeah.
So it's about
mine are maybe a little bit further back than that, but not much. People are saying like you need to have your heels at where your thumb is, type of thing. Like
That's for, I don't know, maybe, but I don't think so. I guess it depends on how you are too. Like if you have a bigger gut like us, it kind of you can't lean as much. You don't get as much back. Like I can't, like we can't lean as far forward as some other people too. So that kind of also puts a factor in that, and where you put your feet and where you put your hands. But yeah, I think if I really set my mind to it and trained, I bet you I could probably pull 500 kilo with it. I don't know how much the heaviest I went is. I don't have a car deadlift frame, so it's not something I can just run out and start training on. But doing, I think I could pull it, depending on how much slack is actually in it too. That makes a big difference. There's sometimes where they move that car far enough on there is no slack. Like as soon as you go to pull from the ground, it is all weight. Sometimes you can get it up almost to your knees before you start hitting the big weight.
Right.
So I think that plays a lot into it, of how much you can actually end up pulling.
Yep. Yeah, it's for sure going to be the heaviest at the top.
Yep, and then it looks cool. Like what deadlifting a fucking car or whatever it is under, it always looks cool.
Yep.
So it's one of those like it's an audience pleaser lift at the end of the day.
He's not doing a car deadlift this year. That's right.
No.
That would be, it would be cool if he did a car deadlift this year and did like the setup that they had at Worlds last year in 2019, where they had 2 side-by-sides.
Yeah. And then Novikov got away with the fingertip. It doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter anyways.
Novikov or Kieliskowski?
Novikov.
Okay.
Because that's why they made it this year. It's like you have to have your full hand wrapped around the bar. Because even if you watch all Novikov's older competitions, he would be like that bar would be like right here.
Yeah.
Like and it'd be all straps basically.
Just the tip.
But he's also has like long arms and like his leverages are weird too, which really helps him on a deadlift. That's why he's able to pull. What we got here for?
Next question.
Yeah, get off fucking Pornhub for a second.
I was checking to see if I had any more questions popping up. Yeah. All right. So this is what exhibitions lifts would we want to see at Throwdown this year? So for any of my viewers that don't know, Throwdown was the competition that I went to last year and I was a judge at. And we'll get into the next question of what's going to happen this year. But so what exhibitions lifts do you want to see at Throwdown? Last year we had a little car deadlift face-off between three of us, basically. And I think Nick won, didn't he?
Yep. Well, the real question was Nick wearing a shirt?
Probably not. And shorts that were way too small.
I remember those. Those look great. Yeah. Those were, I believe, those were from the Baby Gap.
So yeah.
He won because it was you, Aaron, and Nick, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I kind of shouldn't have stepped in, but I did. So my question is, what exhibition lift are we going to see out of what's on there already, or we're going to throw something else in for fun?
No, like so if we had to, if we could throw anything in there, what would you say? You had the choice of throwing in one. Like, what would you put in? Well, you'd put car deadlift, wouldn't
you? Or frame.
Any type of frame or car deadlift. I would go with definitely a keg toss. Like I said, like highest keg. I think that would be Pete's. You're having some technical difficulties there.
It's the autofocus on this brand new.
It's definitely the camera. Every time it clicks, it's a loud click too. I think.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like a remember a Kodak camera when you zip it and click it. That's what it sounds like. But anyway, I would say definitely a keg toss. I think a keg toss competition, or I want to get in on that Oreo eating competition that they have at
So yeah, I didn't know they were having it the year that we went. And I didn't stick around to the end of Great Lakes this year, but
I didn't know the rule. I don't know what the rules are on it, or what the. I think is it just eat as many Oreos as you can in a minute, or is it?
I don't know if it's like the whole pack or if it's just one
whole
row. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know any of the rules on it. Should we do an eating contest over at the Throwdown?
That would be an interesting at the end of the contest, or at the end of the contest.
We'll have to see who the food truck is this year because they have a food truck there, and see if they can supply hot dog eating.
I don't know. I think we need to have a judge though, because I think the Oreo eating competition ended in controversy the last year. There's been a massive controversy built around that. We'd have to ask the people that were involved in it, but it seems like there's some. Carryover still online I've seen between two of the participants that were in it. So I think we would have to have a judge someone to be an actual judge to determine whatever it is that we do.
Gotcha. Yeah. So maybe a hot dog eating contest?
That sounds gay. I don't know.
We'll have to grab that mask that you found.
The hot dog eating contest mask, yes. That's my deadlift mask. It really helps me breathe when it holds my mouth open. Why?
I would
love to do a pizza eating contest because I firmly believe I can eat a hot and ready pizza in 2 minutes.
So the first competition I ever went to was one that Aaron held. It was Cardinal Strongman Challenge in Davison, and it was the last year that they had it in Davison before they started in Frankenmuth, and they had a pizza eating contest. And I don't think any of the competitors that did it, but my brother did it. He was down there with me. And he got smoked, obviously, but
first one to eat an entire pack of Oreos is what it says.
Oh, next year, first one to eat a whole entire pack. That's a lot of Oreos.
Is it the big? Oh, it's a regular pack. So yeah, that's what three rows or 4 rows. How many rows are in a package of Oreos? I think it's 4, isn't it?
3 rows, I believe.
Huh.
I
don't like the regular Oreos. I like the vanilla ones. That's what, or the golden Oreos. That's what they're called. That's what I like.
What you're talking about?
That sounds good though.
Yeah, like a hot and ready pepperoni. That's the issue. Is there any Little Caesars out that way?
Yeah, I think there's one in Cass City. Nah, it's easy. 3 rows, 33 cookies. This motherfucker's got it down to a science. That's what I love. Yeah, he prepped for this. He's done the math.
He's sitting there eating 3 rows right now.
Nah, because I think he likes the carrot cake or the red velvet.
There you go. Carrot cake.
Yep.
Oreo.
Yeah, that's the thing about it is trying to find. Because I think you'd be able to split the Oreo. Like, I think I could eat the pack. I don't know the time. I guess I'll start training for that.
You'll fit it into your nutrition plan there, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just see a package of Oreos. I don't know the exact macros on it, but I'm sure Nick does. 2 packs a week currently. What a beast!
That's better than a pack a day.
And somehow he can still do that at like 4% body fat. And the best part, he's about to comment. He's going to be. It's 9.3.5 body fat. But no, like
I don't know if we could get the guy that did the food truck to throw something together for us. I can't remember all what they had. I don't remember.
They had a lot of food there.
It was good. I think I had like a pulled pork sandwich or something like that.
Mm-hmm. There was quite a bit.
Fries. I don't remember.
Yeah, but otherwise expeditionless. I think I don't know why I said
that. You're an expeditionist is what you are.
Yeah, you know me. No, I think doing a keg toss or like you said, the frame. Another one would be fun. Would be what was it?
If we want to do one of the events that is there already, is maybe like a 1,000-pound yoke for 50 feet.
That's after doing a comp though, like you're not going to be able to do another 1,000-pound yoke at the end.
Right, but
it's you're going to be beat up, especially after doing the stones and the yoke and then the max distance hustle. Like you're not going to
talking about people that are competing doing it rather than me, Nick, and Aaron.
Oh yeah, I guess so too. Well, you know how that's going to go because as soon as someone, it's going to be like, I think I can do that, and then they're going to hop back in there. And you think I would have? Yeah,
like Aaron did.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah, maybe max height empty keg.
Yeah, like 25-pound keg, at least 25-pound.
Well, they're 22 empty.
Are they?
Yeah.
I use propane tanks that Matt welded handles on, so I don't have an actual mini keg because I can't find mini kegs anywhere. So I went on auction and bought a bunch of old propane tanks. And then
they went from the little ponies, and now they're like almost a standard height, and they're only about that big around.
That's one thing I always wanted to do, like the Viking Press World's Strongest Man style, where they have.
No, you know what he's talking about is down in West Virginia at the who did it? Craig Laddie went down and competed at Paul Moser's gym, and it was a dirt bike that you pick up and overhead.
Overhead press the dirt bike.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be fun. And you just have to figure out where to grab it. I guess would be the biggest thing. I've never. Yeah, but you want to be balanced perfectly, and then the motor's in the middle. You just got to find out.
I don't know if it had a motor on it to make it decent enough to press it. I don't know if it had a.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what. That's okay.
Okay, luckily you're here because I'm stupid.
Well, I just remember Craig going down.
An odd object, yeah. That'd be a fun one to do. You just have to find someone that wouldn't mind dropping their dirt bike on overhead. If someone did drop it.
You could probably go to a junkyard and find one.
Yeah, that would be cool. An odd object lift. Yeah, I'm trying to think. You know what? I want to do a tug of war too. I think that'd be. I know it's more of a team thing or something, but like doing a tug of war in a contest would be fun. I've never.
Sumo.
Huh?
Sumo.
Yeah, you have to wear the diaper though. Just like was it Brian Shaw and yeah, he's just like, but were you wearing the diaper?
Right.
All right, what we got for the next question here?
Will I be at Throwdown? One way or another, I will be there. Right now, it is my day off. Right now.
This motherfucker. He's over here. He's like, I'm actually working 67 straight, and that's my day off right now.
Yeah, that is my day off. No, I'm hoping by then, which is a while away now, but yeah, I'll be there. I'm on call for work, but I'll try to get somebody to cover my on call. Um, but yeah, I will be there either judging or competing
Nice.
for sure. Especially if I'm going to prep to do a competition, another
You
team.
need to do the throwdown, man. It's only a week away from the one that you're planning on doing. That'd just be a fun one. And we get to compete against each other again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I will be there one way or another. What type of weights will we be seeing at what type
dude,
of weights?
what type of weights do you think you'll see on the log? Don't judge. I was in a hurry typing this, all right, because I was trying to watch my phone and type this. So,
And you had to pee.
and you said you were going to edit this, and my computer cut out, so I didn't even get a chance to.
Okay, so I copied and pasted them over and just fixed the shit that was red underlined, which was about every other word. So I didn't proofread too.
Yeah, you don't know how to read either. Anyway.
Oh, okay. I just read all the weights and whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, you fucking easy.
All right. So who do you think you're going to see for log? I don't know who's actually going to be competing.
No one knows who's competing for sure yet, but I think, well, like I said, it depends on who's competing, but I think we'll see quite a few over 300 presses. Yeah, like I would. Let's see, July. As long as everything goes smooth, I would like to hit like a 365 log. Like, my goal is 400, obviously, but I don't think I can't hit it by then unless there's a miracle and the overhead gods kiss my shoulders. But I would like to see a I would want to hit at least a 340 log. That would be my big weight, I guess. I would shoot for is a 340 or maybe a 350. As long as everything goes smooth, I would be excited for a 350.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it all depends on who's going to come. What we're going to see. I mean, if we see somebody like Logan show up, we're going to see over a 400-pound log.
Well, here's the issue. I've never seen him do it from the ground. A lot of people could do from 400 from a rack.
But he did it, and that's when he bent that log that Matt broke. Yeah, I can't remember. It was I can't remember what it was called, where they tested like the max log.
Record breakers?
Yeah, it was a record breaker. He did
Okay.
400 log, and then he dropped it from overhead and bent the
weight pins.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never. The video that I seen was from the rack, so that's what. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if he's he'll definitely hit a 400, then probably over 400 or whatever. I don't know where he's at. Overhead's been my like Achilles heel. That and my deadlifts. I've been working really hard on both. I've been doing a lot of work on the overhead recently, so that's why I'm shooting for. Like, I'd be happy with a 350.
Yeah. I would have. I haven't pressed over 300 yet, so I would be happy with pressing over 300.
You done like 295 though, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're like right there.
295 at on the axle at Great Lakes and 295 at the log at Battle of the Borders.
You need to put that extra 2.5 on there, boy.
Well,
that 2.5 is the heaviest weight in the gym, but it's your confidence will shoot through the roof when you finally hit that 300 over that 300 over the 295 log. I failed the 300 log and overhead for 6 months, basically. I got 280, I did 290, I did 295, and then for 6 months, almost it seemed like I was stuck at 295. And then I finally hit a 300, and then it was stupid because when I finally got to 300, I hit it like it was fucking nothing, like 135, and I was so yoked. And then I went back to do it again, like I went to go do 300 for a double a week later, and it didn't even move, and I don't know what was going on. So then I was like, all right, I just need to do a deload. The deload went back in, then I hit 315, and then the heaviest log I've done so far is a 320. So I'm hoping, like I said, as long as everything goes good and smooth, because my competition, the heaviest log was 320. And then my competition I got coming up is 320 for reps. So now I'm more focused on doing reps because that's the Platinum Plus competition that's coming up. I want to hit that for at least 5 or 6 reps. But in theory, if I could do 320 for 5 reps, I should be able to hit 350,
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we'll see.
All right. So I was told that you put this question in here very last is what happens to Nick O'Hare's shirt during every competition?
So I threw it in here because I knew he was going to be watching this week. And I remember we talked about it when we talked with I can't remember. Why can't I remember people's names? Remember?
Lauren?
Yep, Lauren. Remember we were talking about Nick's shirt and how it seems to be missing at comps. It was at the end when we were doing the mess around questions.
I don't think he lost at Great Lakes this year. It was a little bit colder there.
Yeah, maybe not this year. Oh, who knows? I bet you probably had a sleeveless one on though.
I was only there for half the show, so.
Yeah, but we were talking with Lauren, and I told Nick when we were working out, I was like, "Your name comes up actually quite often on here, like more than anyone else's that we compete against her." And that's why I think, I told him we need to have him on here for. Actually, I think it'd be a great opportunity to just pick his brain and learn about training and his mindset and where he came from. Because I know he came from a different background before he got into lifting, and then he pretty much dominated every lifting sport up to this point.
Pretty much. Just setting world records.
I came in second to him twice, and I competed against him twice.
Don't act like it bothers you.
It didn't bother me until the truck pull. That's the only thing that got me because he took the crowd. He took the nut from the crowd, and that's what just because he went before me. But like you said, he's half my body. He's at like 200 right now, so he's not half my body weight. But yeah,
the shirt always does seem to disappear.
Well, if I had the shirtless part, no, like I give him credit though. If I looked like that, I wouldn't. I actually tell you the truth, I'd wear a shirt, but I wouldn't wear pants anywhere. I would just be pantsless all the time because, for one, it'd be great for my OnlyFans, and two, it would just, he probably has legs like a Greek god. I watched him squat the other day. It was pretty impressive. It was crazy impressive. But that's one thing I give him credit for is like how methodical he is on everything that he does. Like no one, like that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where everyone just sees what they do on Instagram. They don't look at the things you do outside of the actual lift, all the prep work and the massages and the mobility work. Like I took some mobility pointers from him, just listening to him talk about things I never even knew about. Like why my knee was hurting, and then he said these things that I never even knew existed, and now I've looked up ways to help work on them. And just from one training session, I learned something from all his years of experience. And can you believe he's 55 years old? I would have never guessed it in a million years.
Did you not put it in there? I was just looking at some of the other questions that you had on here.
I did forget to put one on there. So I guess when we're ready for the last question, I'll ask you and see what your opinion is on it.
That the Nick shirt was the last question that you
was it? Okay. So my question was something I want to discuss with you. What is the greatest strongman lifts of all time? Like what, in your opinion, I'd say I can't. So I was thinking about whether it would be the greatest actual event lift or just your favorite strongman lifts of all time, like what you see in competition. So I guess we could just do both. It don't really matter. I would say for first, like what is your top three favorite all-time strongman lifts? So like say Eddie's deadlift or like that, meaning like that.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go first because I have a feeling you already have this set in your head. And
actually, I don't. Surprisingly, no? Yeah, okay. This is kind of fresh. I wanted to be able to bounce ideas off of you.
Oh, great.
I would make it easy. I would say number 3 is Eddie's deadlift, just because it was the first, 500 kilo deadlift. And even though he psyched it up to make it sound like it was way, like I almost died doing it, and Thor goes up there and does it, and then like challenges Eddie and eats a pizza and kisses his wife afterwards. Like, so to be fair, but it was the first time anyone ever did it in comp and got it successfully. So that was cool. And he had 30,000 people watching you do it, or however many people were in that arena, because Giants Live.
Well, I think the other part that it gets really downplayed is Pritchett went after him to pull that.
Did
he? Yeah. So Pritchett went after Eddie to pull, and he
tore his hamstring.
There was such he got injured pulling it, but there was such a long downtime in between his last warm up or his last pull, until he went to pull the 500, because there was such a build up for Eddie pulling it, And then after he pulled it, there was such like everybody cheering for Eddie for
Yeah.
pulling, where it took forever for Jerry to finally actually get out there and be able to get his chance to do it, where he was starting to cool down.
Yeah.
So honestly, do I think he could have did it at the same time? Maybe, maybe not. And I can't remember exactly a picture of it in my head as how well he actually did at it, but I think he got it like 3/4 of the way up and pulled something. I can't remember if it was a bicep, a tricep, a hamstring, something. He got
probably he always ends up injuring his hamstrings because his stance is like 4 feet. His feet are 4 feet apart, so it's all the weights on the hamstring.
He's got a snatch grip deadlift. So would Eddie's 500 kg be up there? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
It was the first time anybody's ever pulled. What was his record before that? It was in the 4th.
Yeah, it was the 500. What is this? A 34 kg jump from his last one, so it was like 450 or 460. I think it was like 460 something.
Okay.
Because he set the record before he did the 500. Because he pulled like 460 in his they give you 3 lifts. So yeah. I think he did the 463 or something like that. I had to look at this, remember off the top of my head. But then he did the 500, which was the big one, kind of like his overhead when he did the overhead for the axle.
Yeah. So I would say that would have to be in there, and then I would put in probably the Hummer tire deadlift, and I want to just start with the one that JF just did because he made it look so easy. Easily insane. And I mean, Pritchett was right there with him pretty much with that as well. But then you go back to look at the last record, which was Brian's, and how easily he pulled it. I mean, I don't think he pulled it as easily as what JF pulled the new road record, and that was years ago too.
Yeah.
Say that was like 2013. Actually, you know what? I was sitting in Arizona at my competition when he did that, because I happened to open up Facebook on my phone and saw that he pulled that, and I was sitting next to a guy that was doing the competition with me. I'm like, hey, look at this. He's like, oh, cool. Who's that? I'm like, are you just here for fun, or are you guys know anything about Strongman? He was like, yeah, that's my first competition. And I'm like, oh, all right, whatever.
Still, you know who Brian Shaw is? Like I get a Shaw wasn't in 2013. It wasn't a household name like it is now, but like you still should know who Shaw was. Like shit.
Well, he already won 2 by 2013. So.
Yeah. I would say right up there would be I guess I'm kind of biased because I like Atlas stones, but watching what's his nuts there do the Atlas was it 600-pound Atlas stone?
Oh, Tom.
Tom Stoltman, and he did it like pretty effortlessly. Like it wasn't super. He didn't get like super hyped and go crazy. Then like he just went up there. He did it. And he goes to the side when he does it too, which that's crazy to me. How you could put that much stress without injuring your oblique or your core, because you can see him. He gets it up and then he goes to the side and goes over the bar.
Interesting.
And I'm like, that's crazy because he did it, and he has so much more in the tank too. Like it wasn't like it was a max.
Didn't he try to go heavier than that and fail though?
I don't remember the exact thing, but he said that he wants someone. I guess there's someone that's challenging it, going for that record, the Atlas Stone in America. And so I know as soon as they do, he'll just probably come back. Mitchell, yeah. Because he was the only one that loaded remember at Worlds this year, like behind the scenes, he went and like loaded all the stones, and he did the 2 big ones. I forget how big they were.
The 2 end ones, yeah.
Yeah, he did it raw just for funsies.
Right.
Oh, that's crazy because I think the Atlas Stone is like the perfect combination of being able to do all. It's just pure strength. Like it's combining all the aspects of strength, and it makes it into one lift. It's core, upper body, lower body, back. Like it's just a cool lift, and it looks cool. Everyone, because that's the thing is everyone. If you tell them, "Oh, I do strongman," they go, "Is that the thing where they pick up the big concrete balls and pull the airplane?" Like that's the only 2 things people ever say.
Stones, right?
Yeah, they always go, "Is that the concrete balls and the people that pull the airplane?"
Right.
So I think that's the.
I would also have to put Zujernus's log press in there.
That's my number 1 because Zujernus is insane.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
I was just gonna say because that's just a record that he's the only person that's broken it, and he broke it. What they say, 30-something times since like 2005, the overhead.
Right.
It's like that is pretty much. And then look at how many. So every other record has been broken at least every year.
Mm.
You know, the deadlift record, the stone, every single record except for the overhead, over the log.
Mm.
And that's another thing I was going to transition to is like what's your runner-ups for favorite lifts. So I got another one that kind of tees into this one is, do you remember Michelle, or what's his name? Mikhail Kovlikov?
Okay.
The Russian. Well, he did World's Strongest Man. He used to compete in it, but now, so he did a 68-pound overhead, where you get it on a squat position and then you snatch it and then hold it overhead. He did he did 270 kilo, which is like 580 pounds, and he did it like it was effortless. Like that was insane. What was his name? It was just on. They just posted it on Instagram today because it's like he did it in 2010. Let me see it.
Misha.
Yeah, Misha.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Misha. Yeah, he just posted it today. It's just 580 pounds over 270 kilos. So whatever that is, I forget what that is. Look it up. I guess I could pull it up. 270.
I can't find where my mouse is at right now.
594 pounds.
And he just did it from overhead from like a rack?
Yeah, so he gets under it like a squat, backs
okay.
up, and then does like the split jerk, and then holds it overhead. And then he holds it and goes, yeah! And then he sets it down. Like, he doesn't just drop it. He brings it down and then sets it on the ground and goes, cool, and walks away. I'm like, this guy, because he holds so many records and everything. He's kind of like Sojournus. He holds like Olympic records. He holds powerlifting records. He holds some strongman. I don't know if he holds any strongman records anymore, but yeah, let me look it up real quick. See if I can.
So what's your favorite lift you actually saw in person?
Probably the elephant bar deadlift. That's the only one I've seen in person. That was when Thor did the 1,045, I think it was, at the Arnold. I was pretty close. That was amazing because the crowd was so hype. Everyone, Mikhail Kalayev, yeah. So I don't know if you can get it. Let her zoom.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. See if I can pull that video up. I can send it to you and you watch it real quick.
You said it was on Instagram?
Yeah, on his Instagram today. M-I-K Hale. M-I-K Hale. Yeah. Here, can you see it?
I was going to pull it up on.
Oh, yeah, that works. It's the second video from what he just posted.
What's his Instagram user handle?
It's.
I know I follow him.
KOKLY8EV. It's his last name first.
All right.
Yeah, pull this bad boy up. And he's wearing a fucking polo shirt. Like, it's not even like he's psyched up for it or nothing. Yeah, it's the second one right there.
Yeah, I found my mouse again here. All right, here we go.
Watch this. Like, it's just insanity.
This was in 2010.
Yeah, watch how fast it goes up. Boop. 590 pounds. And then he sets it down like that. Like, this guy, I don't know if you ever watched any of his highlights though. It's just insanity, like what he did. Those Russians are crazy. Like, I'm sure they're pretty much like have whatever the best drugs are on earth, and like, but it's just insane. One of my favorite deadlifts, actually, no, let me scratch that. My favorite lift that I've ever seen in person was Mikhail Shiliakov's one where his face exploded.
Oh, yeah.
That was the coolest, just because of the visual of it. And then, like, his blood everywhere. And then he steps back, he does his little bow, and then, he goes, "I'm sorry for the blood."
Yeah.
That was an awesome one to see in person.
I'm trying to remember some of the ones that I got to see at the Arnold. I got to see some of the record breakers. The one where Shaw set the world record for Atlas Stone. I got to see that one.
Yeah, I was there for that too. We were at that same one.
Was that 16 or 17?
No.
No.
Go? That was 18. I think that was my first year going.
I didn't go in 18.
Was it 18? 17? Maybe? I don't have to look it up. It's whatever year it happened. I'm terrible with names and numbers, dude. Like, it's part of my ADD growing up. I've never been able to if I meet you and I see your face, I can remember it forever. But when I just talk to you like this, I have the hardest time remembering names and numbers.
I was trying to go back to
looking up your video. Back when you hit it big on YouTube with your 100,000 views.
It wasn't quite that, but it was close. But back when I was could get paid from YouTube, but didn't get paid.
Did you shit your pants the first time you uploaded it? Next thing you know, you had 50,000 views or whatever it was.
Yeah, the crazy thing was, it was overnight. I went to the first day of the Arnold and I uploaded the deadlifts, and I woke up the next morning and I had 100 comments. I'm like, what? And it was before they were doing the live.
Yeah.
So it was. Yeah, it was pretty insane.
I bet you're YouTube influencer, AC McNett, baby. You know me. Who else got inducted? Peyton Manning's elected to Pro Football Hall of Fame. Look at that big head boy.
4 head.
5 head. But yeah.
So yeah, I can't remember. I saw Thor break the 56-pound weight over bar.
Okay, yeah. That was a good one.
20-some feet.
Now, what would you say your favorite 3 events are? So, for all-time events. So that's what the one Nick said when I misinterpreted. That's what the keg toss. Car deadlift, and everyone that said that was his favorite events. So,
are my favorite events to do?
Yeah, I think I've asked it before, but if you had a dream comp and you could have Brian Shaw and all those guys there, you were the promoter or the competitor with them, whatever, I don't fucking care. What events what would your comp be? So you're the Arnold now, you're the Tony.
All right, so
the big net classic, that's what it is.
So for overhead press, I do a Viking press with some kind of crazy implement on it type of thing. We always see the what they use quads and stuff that. How about one with people sitting on it like they used to do with the squats?
Yeah, the old day, the Playboy bunnies.
Yeah, throw 2 people up on top of a Viking press to see that. So that'd probably be my overhead press for a deadlift.
Would you go Arnold style, where it's known as the heaviest comp in the world, or would you just be a World's Strongest Man style, where it's just heavy weights, or a rep fest? What are you shooting for?
A mixture. I kind of they did for, I don't know, probably a mixture of both. Now we're talking just how many events? 5?
Yeah, we'll do 5.
All right, so overhead press, I do Viking press just because that's my favorite style of overhead press. A car deadlift. Let's go for max. We were talking about it.
Max car deadlift.
Max car deadlift.
And then you got to do it Rogue style, where it's a fucking bale of wool and an engine block, a monster truck tire. That's all piled on there, so it has to be.
No, we'll go with a John Deere.
Just park a fucking tractor on it.
Throw down style.
That's Case, boy. Get it right. Ain't no John Deere.
Whatever. I'm not a farmer.
That's like saying I prefer Titan instead of Rogue. Like, I get it.
There's more Titan in my garage than there's Rogue. So
Well, yeah, because we're not big yet. You gotta make it big time. We gotta average 1 million listeners to our podcast a week, and then you can get free Rogue shit.
Then you gotta have a carry. So I'll go with something crazy like a shield carry, House of Fall shield type carry, farmers, then to a frame.
God damn.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Brutal.
So that's 3, and then a keg toss for height.
Like a weight over bar though, or a keg toss.
Like a weight over bar, but you're using a keg.
Just a keg.
Yep.
How much does the keg weigh? And then is it you said max height for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the keg weight?
Max height, 35 pounds. Let's go with that.
So you could probably the elite one's 35. You can probably get that over 25 to 30. About 30 foot.
Probably.
Maybe close.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then max Atlas stone.
Like loading over a bar, or like a max Atlas stone.
Yeah, that would be hard to do a max Atlas stone because you can't change the weight of it. But,
yeah. Have Slater pour him on the spot.
Just pouring the lead.
I guess if you did a stone of steel, though, I guess you could add weight.
You could do that, but then you can't use tacky. Some kind of heavy Atlas stone, like a 3, like what Matt's doing at the throwdown.
Like a 3 stone series.
The 3 series, rather. I know, like the 10 series is the.
That's awesome.
It is cool to see that many stones, but I'd like to see like 3 heavy stones.
I love watching people go head to head when they have like the 2, like the old, the world's strongest man. It always ended with the Atlas stones, where it's always head to head. Like I love that because like watching them, like because they're panicking, they're trying to beat the person next to them, but they're also like if you watch. So in 2009, it was when Pujanowski, he was destined to. No, he still won, but he was going to win, and he threw the second stone clear over the platform. And it fucked him, and he lost the contest. And he was going to have a clean sweep, I think it was. It might have been earlier than that, but I remember that because that was when he had the blonde hair. When he went bleached his hair right after the whole cocaine oopsie doopsies. You're going to have that sometimes. You're going to find coke in your system when you're just being Polish and whatnot.
I'm trying to find a picture for you. All right, so what's your events?
So I like it old school. So I want to see. I want to do the old medley where that was like drag the big ass chain, hook it to the anchor, and then drag the big ass chain and anchor, and then like load an anvil onto a platform or something like that. And you know what I really miss? One of my favorite events that I want to do is where they take the car and they hollow out the car in the middle. It's like a yoke, and then you get in the middle of the car. The car. Like I want to do that. That'd be fun, and I would do something like that because. That one was so hard because even the people that were supposed to win it, like that car would lean forward and like hit the ground and they would slow so the people that you would expect to win it, I would do that. I would do power stairs, a duck walk to a power stairs.
Oh, fuck that.
And then just because I've never done it, but I would be cool to see it, something in sand. So either loading the thing in sand or in water. So,
did a keg toss in sand.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that? It seems like you could fall.
It was terrible because if you missed, the keg would dig into the sand, and then the whole top of it would just be full.
Yeah, and then you'd be covered in sand. I hit the diddler. Got these low hanging diddlers everywhere.
That's the above view camera.
Yeah, that's the sky cam. Yeah, definitely something like that. That'd be cool to do. I do like watching the tug of war. I would not do a sumo because that's just weird. I guess that would be the tug of war where they pull the people into the water. That was a cool one.
Yeah.
And one of the events I think would be cool too is wherever they had the tote of wool and it starts in the water, and you got to do this hand arm over arm, so you're pulling that out of the water. You ever see that one? That's an older one. That's like an 81, 82 event.
So they're doing. So this makes sense why I saw somebody post on starting Strongman. What are people going to start asking how we practice for the car carry?
You buy yourself a Geo Metro, hollow that bitch out, and get her going.
Oh, we did the pull. They had the pull push at Michigan Strongest Man one year.
Is that the one where you're on each end and
it's like a 4x4 with ropes attached to it? They had it at Michigan Strongest Man one year as a fun thing to do after the competition. I was too tired to try it, but
I wanted to get in on the beer stein hold, the front hold with I think it's like 16-pound beer stein or whatever it is. They did that as like a side competition at Michigan Strongest Man, I think 2 years ago.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 years ago. I forget. There was someone, I forget who won that, but it was I think it was just a couple spectators off of, it was just one of those things where it's like, come on down and try your chance at winning and I had to go take a piss. So I left and I came back and they were just starting it. And I was like, God dang it.
I haven't gone to that in a few years.
I think that would be fun to do, a fun event. The Stein hold, yep. Yeah, of course you won. Fucking Nick. Yeah, Nick won it, yeah. Yeah, because it was like a custom. Didn't you get like a custom beer mug or a Stein out of it that had it all engraved and everything? Because I know in Germany, I think the world record is like, I think it's insane what the world record is. I think it's supposed to be like a 16-pound or a 12-pound Stein hold for as long as you can. And that's another thing that I would like to do in a competition is like the actually weighted holds where they have the giant hammer and you lean against the board and you got to hold it.
I did one time with it was like, you remember, I think it was the America's Strongest Man that used to give away that hammer, that big metal hammer. I think Oberst got it one time. I had to do that at a competition, hold on in front of us. That's the competition I did in Arizona.
Really? That or the
sledgehammers?
No, the poles.
Car hold. Oh, Hercules.
Yeah, the Hercules hold or any form of that. Stein and a giant turkey drumstick. Dude, that's awesome. I would like to do a Highland Games one time. I know it's a lot of technique, and it's definitely something that you just can't run and do.
I thought about it also, but if I could find somebody that had the stuff for me to practice with it,
yeah,
I would totally do.
I think the weight over bar. I think because you're supposed to use like a pitchfork and like pitch it over a bar, that would be fun. Like I said, the caber, that would be cool. But they do a lot of unique events too. Like I didn't watch it all, but that would be a fun one to try. Just something different to mix it up,
Mm-hmm. They have a couple different stone tosses. One where you can actually do a little bit
hammer throw.
Yep. Yeah, they got just a stone throw where you start from a little ways back, or they have one where you start from the starting line or the throw line, basically. Yeah, there's a couple different ones that you can do with that. But
would you give the Denny Stones a try if you had a chance?
No, I kind of want to get a setup for that. I mean, it's not really a setup, but like the handles for it.
It just looks like those handles would kill because they're so small. Like those would go right there on the calluses and just rip them off. I would love to do that thing on Scotland where they walk across the bridge with the Denny Stones. I'd give it a shot. At least what's worse you can do is not make it. Like it'd be cool to try. Just be a part of it because you get to write your name in the book if you win, right? Or if you do, because that's what Shaw did on the Strongest Man in the World show.
Yeah, Strongest Man history.
Yep. See, names. Got me.
I got you covered. That's why we're a team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was trying to find a picture for you. I got my picture taken with Misha at the Arnold.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was on my Instagram, but it must be on my Facebook.
Yeah, did you see that they're talking about moving to Arnold permanently to be in September now?
Well, like every year?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Which, I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed in that because it seems like every big competition is at the end of the year now. Like the only other competitions are Giants Lives and stuff.
Well, I think Europe's and Brits are earlier in the year.
Yeah, I'm saying for us, like
right. Right.
It was
Yeah,
always nice in March because it was far enough away from World's Strongest Man to where
I think they'll try to get World's Strongest Man in earlier in the year, like this year. Unlike last year, they had to push it back. But I think I think we should probably start hearing stuff about it soon.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run it that soon, though, would they?
If they're going to run it how they normally would,
it's normally in May, right? I think it's the end of May is when it was supposed to be.
Yeah, usually April or May.
So it seems I don't think they'd run that soon, and especially they're not going to leave the country this year, so it's going to be in Florida again, most likely.
How do you know they're not going to leave the country?
Because you can't leave. You can't go to. Well, that's harder to get into the UK and shit right now since that new Corona stuff came out. So I think they're gonna. I don't know because if they keep the travel restrictions like they're doing now, it's going to be a pain to get everyone in because they got loosened up for a little bit there in November when they came to Florida. But I guess Biden put some new things on there for travel restrictions. You got to do a 21-day quarantine.
Because right before Trump left, he loosened a lot of the restrictions, and Biden came in and automatically just went, nope.
I think it was like a 14-day quarantine or something you got to do now if you go to London.
Going to hang out in the hotel or in the
airport. But you know how much it costs the promoters to pay an athlete to spend 14 days in a hotel.
Not only that, but right before an event, like a lifting event,
let
them keep training at the hotel.
They got to pretty much reserve the entire hotel like they did the IMG Academy,
right?
And I don't think they can afford to do that. I don't know. Who knows what's going to go on? But I just know that they talked about moving the Arnold permanently to be in September or towards the end of the year at least. I know this year it's an athletes only. Again, there's no convention, no nothing.
Right.
Which I feel bad for Columbus because that's millions of dollars they're losing from that. Like I don't know. I love going to the Arnold. It's just even though the convention's packed, it's kind of a pain. It's still a fun experience to do every year.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not even like I've only gone twice, and I wasn't one of the people that was running around from booth to booth just to try and get all the free shit that I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that on Sundays, but
you can only do that if you look good, though. Like I said, like I was standing outside the Bang booth for like 10 minutes, and the girls kept handing shit out to people ever on each side of me, and they're like, "Go away, Shrek." I'm like, "No, I would go over to the what was it, the kind of fit, kind of fat booth where I belong."
Lemmy and Larry's.
I seen when I went to the Massonomics booth, I got to hang out with Tanner and Tommy when I seen them. And then I was looking forward to this year, but obviously, or last year. So like someone's killing a cat. Yeah, I was about to say they're skinning cats down there.
Yeah, I was hoping they would do it just so I could.
God damn, that's loud.
To get into the wine or what?
Apparently, fucking drive her drunk ass home now.
Just so I can work the booth and hang out with the athletes and stuff. That'd be
Well, that's like this year. I was talking to Brittany, and she's sponsored by SBD, and she's like, "Yeah, you come on back, you hang out at the SBD booth, you'll be able to meet everyone and go backstage." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Sweet, I get to meet Cass and Pritchett and all them." And of course, the day before we're supposed to leave, canceled. But
yeah, so. Yeah, if things work out the way it is, I'll probably compete at Throwdown unless he absolutely needs my help. I don't know because Kevin said he's competing, so
he does novice, so he's not gonna do the open.
I didn't compete last year. That means I can drop back down to novice, right?
I'm actually to tell you the truth, I identify as a woman, so I'm gonna do the women's novice class and qualify for nationals.
Under this administration, you can do that now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a Courtney Loper from now on. Go ahead. Yeah, just.
Fuck. Did you get any more questions?
No, I think I'm all good to go here. Let me just check and see. Let me look on
your post.
Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't see anything on the post.
So what happened with the pizza roll?
Oh fuck! I forgot about the pizza rolls.
Was it
Apparently,
just
someone, huh?
it's
Someone,
just completely empty.
yeah, someone made him pizza rolls at the restaurant he went to, and they're completely empty. So I was like, yeah, that's a fireable offense. I'm pretty sure.
Let's see if I can.
Because you're supposed to bite into the pizza roll and ha cha cha that bad boy.
It's not showing up. It's too much of a
Yeah.
glare. It's completely empty pizza roll. It's
Yeah, you're
just,
supposed because that's the whole. That's how you eat pizza rolls. You pull them immediately out of the microwave. You don't let it cool. You bite the corner off and ha cha cha until it's edible. It's a science. Are you? Oh, how's keto? That's what I was going to ask you. How's your diet going?
pretty stagnant right now. What?
Pretty stagnant.
Well,
Like,
the weight's not changing. It's
oh,
I mean, it's like half a pound a week right now. So I mean, I haven't had time to train or anything like that, or else it would probably be going down a lot quicker.
yeah.
But I do a lot better with intermittent fasting on my days off, and I don't have days off, so it's I'm sticking to the diet and everything, just fine and dandy. But yeah, it's the other stuff included with just the diet. I mean, I'm down 3 pounds, so
Nice.
yeah, that's well, I was eating like a nasty asshole right before I started. Yeah, I wasn't eating nasty assholes. I was eating like a nasty asshole.
Oh, I see. That we're different. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's. But no, yeah, I'm actually just starting. I'm doing my new. I just finished my last. Was it 10 weeks I did on my RP diet. So now I'm switching, redoing. I'm still going to do a maintenance. I'm not going to do a fat gain. I'm going to do a fat gain diet. I'm not doing a weight gain or a weight loss. I'm just doing maintenance right now because it seems to be working pretty good. I think I'm probably going to up the protein a little bit, and then because I'm going to start working on my deadlift, and the carbs seem to be all right. Like I said, like you've seen the picture, so I seen I'm losing fat, and I'm going to do a little less cardio for this circuit that I'm going to do the next training block. I'm going to do a little less cardio, and I'm going to start working on some heavier lifts. So I'm going to do a lot more deadlifts, a lot less reps. So I've been doing all my rep ranges in 8 to 10. 5, 8, 10 basically has been a lot of my rep ranges on everything. I'm going to work down to do the basic, 3 and 5 for this and just try to build that just power. And then, you just not notice that? Yeah. I told you, women's novice, baby. I'm setting every national record in the women's novice class.
If they could do it in track.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
That chick, guess? I don't know what you wanted to. Just decimate. Like all the other girls were over the first hurdle, and this dude was already over the third set, just cruising. And then I guess there's a wrestler trying to qualify for a national team. I don't know what country, probably Britain or something like that. And he's in the women's, and just yoked. This dude, just absolutely just 0% body fat, just yoked. And he's in the women's class, and I'm like, rip, dude, to whoever has to go against him.
Wow.
Or her. I'm sorry, I don't know what thing. Him, her, I, it, whatever.
Right. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, that's going to be my podcast starting soon when I figure out how to set up my shit. But yeah, otherwise than that, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we've talked for an hour and 45 minutes.
God damn, I don't want to hear my voice that long.
Yeah.
So let's see. Next podcast is the 21st.
Yeah, the 21st. We're gonna have Brett from Outclass Nutrition come in. He's going to talk about his Kickstarter that he's doing with his protein bars. I've tried them. They're pretty tasty for only being 5-6 ingredients. I talked about it a little bit in the last podcast. So
you guys send me some.
I don't have any. I was trying to get us some set up for the podcast so we could actually try it live on the air while everybody's watching, type of thing. But it doesn't sound like that's going to be able to happen because of the manufacturer. So, yeah,
that's fine.
I'll try talking with him again, see if anything changes. He was going to keep me up to date on that, but yeah.
That's fine. You know, it's always cool. It's the beast. And then, like I said, after that, I think we got some other guests lined up for the other podcast. It kind of depends on if they still want to do it after watching this shit show podcast we did today.
Yeah, get Nick on here. Been trying to work on a couple other people. We'll get Matt back on here. Get talking about throwdown again. Some more with the man and brains behind it all. The man and the fabricator behind it all. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just much. I don't know if there's much.
Michigan Steve Slater.
But
I think Michigan Steve Slater is a perfect combination for the world's fattest lightweight is what he goes by. I told him he needs to change his Instagram handle to that because that's what he keeps calling himself.
Well, when you're 5'2".
Oh, shots fired. I'll make sure I'll tell him I'll timestamp this and let him know to check it out. Yeah, Nick's still in, so that'd be perfect.
And then I'll get with you. We'll figure we'll get the three of us together and figure out a date to do one. So
I'll formulate some good questions and try to stray away from the. And then, well, at least if we got Nick's face on there, we can get some, at least a good looking, what they call that, thumbnail.
Yeah, I'll work on the thumbnail beforehand.
Yeah, I was about to say our fucking thumbnails look terrible. I've seen my face on there. I'm like, oh my god, no wonder why. I'm surprised we don't have negative viewers. But we actually did good there. I think we had like 9 people on one.
It was up there for a while and it just completely dropped off.
That's what happens when you got, they see us and then they hear my voice and then they're like, yeah, enough of that. Then they're trying to figure out what this thing is above my head.
Yeah. Is that his microphone or his.
Oh no. Look at it. That's kind of like.
It's a light? I don't remember it being there before when you had the lights on.
See?
Okay. All right, I see it now.
I told you it's not a play toy or anything. It's just this is not my personal fun room.
There you
go. So that's another thing. I was like, when the fuck are we gonna train? I know you're work the next 39 days straight, so
yeah, let me look at it real quick. I thought I told you a couple days, but I think the wife also set herself up to work on those days that I'm off. So
you can bring the kids down if you
yeah, they'll have fun hanging out with Ashley.
Yeah, well, I got plenty of room in there. Like they can play around on the couch, and I got internet in the gym, so they can get on a tablet and be entertained.
Yeah, so I work starting Monday night until the next Monday night. Then I'm off the 16th. Well, the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. Those 4 days we're actually heading down to that shitty state to the south of us, Ohio. We're gonna because it's my son's birthday is that weekend.
Oh,
and we always go to Great Wolf Lodge, but our Great Wolf Lodge is not able to open yet. So we got reimbursed to go to the one down there in Sandusky instead.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, we're gonna go down there for like 3 nights, I believe. So I'm off the 20th and 21st, but like I said, I'm gonna have the kids, so maybe I'll think about bringing them over there with me. And then the 22nd, I'm off as well. That 3-day stretch.
Like I said, they're always welcome if you need to bring them along. And they got plenty of mess around time.
But I'm thinking the middle of next month, and we're still talking. We're still live on the air. I'm thinking the middle of next month, as long as everything goes good.
Yeah, let me check my schedule.
The person that we're currently training at work will be fully trained, and that'll take majority of my overtime away. And I'm not going to complain about it.
Oh yeah, at least about 6. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to talk about is like how often can you work out getting ready for a comp?
So
with the crazy schedule.
Well, by the time those competitions are ready, I will have less overtime because unless people are taking actual vacation, but I'll have 1 week I'll have 3 days off, the other week I'll have 4 days off. Okay. And even if I got to come home and train after a night shift, it won't probably be the best training I can possibly get in after being up all night. But I do better training after a night shift than I do before or after a day shift type of thing. So.
Well, just use that little white baggie you got there, and after work, you just snort half that bad boy, and You can tell me that's pre-workout all you want, but pre-workout don't come in them baggies, boy.
That little white baggie.
It's even called Vice City too. So
there's the whole pack of white baggies right there. So
we're gonna get banned now because you showed that.
How about that? Is that better?
Yo.
So I'll have to send you a picture. I don't know if you saw my shelf that I put up above my desk, but I got them all sitting up on the shelf now.
Nice. I'll work on the stream overlays, see what you think about some of them for the podcast. So that way when we do have, like when Nick's on, it'll be a lot more user-friendly and it'll look cool.
Okay. And I'll have to, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Sounds
good. All right. Appreciate everybody for watching tonight.
Yep. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Nick, for staying in here the whole time. All right. Have a good night, Courtney.
You too. I ain't got nothing.